Not Too Late at 58, the podcast for those of a certain age who say, yes, why not? Hello and welcome to this podcast series called Not Too Late at 58. I'm Annie Weir and I turned a lifetime dream into reality when I was 58, so I am living proof that it is not too late at 58. Hence the name and hence my new passion to help other people of a certain age to achieve their ambitions. You don't actually need to be 58, of course, or want to write a novel. If you'd like to know more about me and Not Too Late at 58, just to hop back to the first episode in the series. This episode is called Why Make a Change Now? And I'm going to start off by asking you 3 questions. First question, what will you most regret not having done as you breathe in your last breath? Second question, if you are a person of a certain age, what do you want to change about your life now, assuming there is something, while there is still time? And the third question is, who do you need help from? So stay with me, even if you don't want to change anything about your life. This podcast series will give you a chance to consider what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and what gives you the greatest sense of achievement. And even if you don't want to change anything about your life, the series will give you a chance to reflect on the things that didn't work out and to acknowledge them, to learn from them, and then let them go. So allow me to share with you the 3 light bulb moments I had, and they relate to the 3 questions. About 12 years ago at Cumbria Coaching Network, we were trying out a few coaching techniques and a question was posed. What will you most regret not having done as you breathe in your last breath? Well, I knew straight away that I would regret not finishing and publishing the novel that I'd been writing for ages. I had to have a go. Well, I finished a novel 4 years ago, albeit a different one. I tinkered with it for a long time, or procrastinated to give it its proper name, or maybe the truth is I was just terrified to share it with the world, and strangely, particularly with those lovely people who regularly asked how it's all going, when was it going to be published? Well, it's published now. It's a psychological thriller called Judith Wants to Be Your Friend. If Judith decides to be your friend, she'll make it happen. She'll find out what you do and where you go, and she'll make sure she's there too. And that's the book that proves, to me, it's not too late at 58. And by the way, it sold over 5,500 copies. And for about an hour, it was above The Girl on the Train in the Amazon Download bestseller list. And I have the screenshot to prove that. My second light bulb moment was in January 2015. I was thinking about working in a new way, and I found myself thinking, I can't change now, I'm 58 for heaven's sake. And then I thought, get a grip, woman, it is not too late at 58. And that turned into the book, the online course, the weekend workshops, and now this series of podcasts. And the concept is a sort of interactive self-help program for people of a certain age to help them realise their dreams or to adjust their way of life, perhaps in the light of changed or changing circumstances. And the third light bulb moment was when I was, working on making my dream come true. I was on a self-publishing course, and that's when I realised that I needed help to do it. I couldn't do all the techie stuff. I couldn't do all the marketing stuff. I needed help, and I asked for help, and somehow it immediately felt more real. It felt more manageable, and part of the help I got is from some of the people who I know who agreed to be case studies in the book, and I'll share more of their story later. So, why now? Well, time is getting on, and with every passing year, there's less time to make the dream come true. 58 is not too late, and I've started to share the message and also making it work for me. The way that I'm doing that is by getting more of my training courses online, writing more books. It really is quite tiring running full-day training sessions, standing on my feet all day. And more importantly, I can help more people by offering training and support in a way that they can access whenever they want to fit in with their busy lives. And it's more environmentally friendly than continuing to do all that travelling. And the face-to-face training I do now is over weekend workshops in a lovely venue in the beautiful Lake District. And I like working directly with people, but there are so few people in Cumbria that I needed to think wider. So this is my new way of working. This is my latest Not Too Late at 58 venture of my own. And by the way, when I achieve another dream, which is to move somewhere sunny and warm to live, there'll be weekend workshops in a Mediterranean location. So, if anyone's up for coming over for that, just let me know. And for me, it's the lifestyle change that I'm seeking, just like 15 years ago when I left my proper job for self-employment. So, talking of self-employment or setting up your own business, it seems that a lot of people have had a dream to do this. Some want to earn money for themselves rather than making money for a big organisation. Some want to turn a hobby into a business. Some want to just choose how they spend their working days. So here are a few reasons why people of a certain age are considering that change now. So not having enough money, savings or pension, to retire anytime soon is a big one. And it seems to be more and more common. A couple of people that I've talked to used to have a decent pension plan. For various reasons they no longer do. One woman worked for a big company and had a brilliant non-contributory pension scheme, so she has got quite a bit banked for that elusive retirement day. But after her job was made redundant, she was frightened to put any more cash away out of reach, and now she's thinking about retiring. She realises there's not enough money in the pot to sustain her lifestyle. And I should say here that her lifestyle is not extravagant. A car, a warm house, a holiday every year, and being able to go out and eat, when she can't be bothered, to cook. And in my world, that's a minimum requirement. Someone else split up with her husband, and, he would be the person who was going to provide for them both in their old age. And she didn't do any paid work for quite a lot of their married life and is now left with virtually nothing. And as well as divorce, at our age there is the possibility of widowhood as well. Final pension schemes are virtually a thing of the past. You can't sort of slide into retirement anymore and barely notice the difference. And actually it's not only the difference in income that people aren't prepared for. They're not prepared for the inactivity and the loss of structure to the days and not feeling useful. Not everybody feels like this. I know that, and you still hear lots of people saying they don't know how they ever had time to go to work. And, the economy has had an effect on savings and pensions. People of a certain age thought that the money they carefully put aside would provide interest payments to live on day to day. And while, those with mortgages and loans are more comfortable with the very low interest rates, savers are at a huge disadvantage. So, people find themselves in these circumstances having to reassess the next few years of their lives, and many are wondering whether, is it too late to start again? Well, it's not too late. It's a great time to think about how to make a few changes, earn a bit of money, and enjoy the challenge of using the wealth of skills and experience that they've acquired over the years. So that's one reason, money. Maybe you just need or fancy a change of job while there is still time to do something else. Maybe there's a job you've always wanted to do, but you've got stuck in the rut of where you've worked for ages, and it can be scary to give that up. But if you're stuck in an office all day, and you Perhaps you love the great outdoors. Is it time to make that leap? Maybe you won't earn so much. Can you afford a lower salary? Can you adapt to a different type of job after all those years? And are there jobs out there for you? On the other hand, you may have a job that gets you out and about, but you're finding it exhausting. Do you dream of staying nearer to home and training other people rather than doing it yourself? And it's hard to find time even to look around sometimes at what opportunities there are out there. And it can be daunting, the prospect of doing further training that you'll need in order to train other people. But it's not impossible. Maybe you've worked in the corporate world, but you've always wanted to do something for society. Charities take on paid staff, but again, you may need to take a drop in salary and you need to think about whether you're able to do that. And I've heard people say it would be nice to work in a little tea shop, and it does, sounds lovely and quaint. But don't forget, you'll be on your feet all day, carrying stuff around and being nice to people, even if they're not always nice. And I have worked in catering and I have worked in retail, so I do speak from experience here. Anyway, I'm not trying to put you off any of these things. All I'm saying is that before you leap, it's a good idea to look and to consider all the pros and cons. Another major reason for a rethink could be that your children have left home and you feel bereft. And in that situation, it is so great to have something else to concentrate on. Now can be the time for you to learn to play a musical instrument, or study something new, or travel more, or even write a book, maybe the memoir for those absent family members. Or maybe there is just simply something you want to do that you haven't had a chance to do that thing yet. I know two people who spent their 20s, 30s and 40s wanting to do voluntary service overseas, and they finally did it in their 50s. This is two completely different people. They didn't know each other. One gave up her job completely and went to India for 2 years, I think to work with disadvantaged children. I don't know whether she's even come back, actually. She may have stayed out there. And the other person took a sabbatical year from her job and she went to Uganda for 1 year. And she still has links with Uganda now, still knows people there, fundraisers for them, that kind of thing. So is there something that you've always wanted to do and feel that now might just be the right time? Well, I'd love to hear what it is. You can go to the Not Too Late at 58 Facebook page and tell the world, and that's actually a great way to start. Just put it out there. So if you feel that you do need to do something, but that it's big and scary, you need a plan. Yes, actually, you do need a plan. We need a plan because it's actually quite difficult making life decisions, but, time's moving on and we must make the best use of the years we've got left. And this is when all the yes, but phrases come into play. This is when all that enthusiasm can dissolve in a pool of self-doubt and apathy. And this is when you start thinking about everything that's ever gone wrong, and you blank out the times when you did try something new and it worked, or energised you, or brought you a sense of pride and well-being, or brought showers of compliments from other people. Well, this is the time to acknowledge all of these things and to make use of them. We've all got baggage, we've all had disappointments, and yes, we've all achieved stuff as well. So let's recognise the current worries, the negatives, the perceived failures and the procrastination. Let's forgive ourselves and take the positives from the pits of negativity. Let's be bold and make a plan. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in the next episodes of Not Too Late at 58, is now the right time for you. So on that upbeat, I'll say thanks for listening today, and I will see you same time next week. Bye for now.